You need your phone? You good?
I don't need my phone. I'm shutting my phone off.
You here?
I'm here. What day of the week this is?
What day of the week is this?
Getting over the hump. Getting over the hump with Caz Hodge.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
One of the few light-skinned people that I rock with the long
They don't
way.
call me that no more, man. They
yeah.
say this Florida sun done brown me up. They can't recognize me.
So,
I ain't finna do it
before we get into the main topic, because I know I'm late and I don't want your wife beating me down. So first, give us a quick shout out of who Caz is.
Caz Hodge. If you don't know Caz Hodge, well, you in for a treat. I think to get to know me is to kind of love me in a way.
You got to hold the mic a little closer.
Cocky and arrogant as that sounds, but that's just what it is. You know, I'm someone from Brooklyn, New York. I'm a father, a marketer, everything and then some. So therefore, you know, to sum it up in a nutshell, I'm happy to be here.
Okay, marketing consultant. That's
Absolutely.
the official title.
Official.
What is a marketing consultant? What does a marketing consultant do?
All right, well, to understand marketing is, you know, you're trying to get a message across. And, you know, in its simplest form, I help people get that message across. Now, the consultant aspect of it is that I'm fortunate to do what I do for a Fortune 100 financial services company, but I've always saw in color, so to speak. So, you know what, I can kind of see things that would kind of improve certain businesses, certain initiatives, certain messages to get out to the community or the marketplace.
Okay.
So I pretty much go and see people and help them with branding, marketing strategy, concept creation, and just really truly understanding what does their audience say about them.
And you do this for companies, not individuals.
Both on and off the books, brother. We got to keep it on and off the books. All right?
So if there's somebody out there that needs some help with branding and needs some marketing help, you can give them some professional insight.
Absolutely.
For a small fee.
Absolutely. That's always going to cost. There's value here.
There's value here.
You know, so there will be a value add, and that just costs. And it's nothing to take advantage of. It's just truly to get the results that are tested and make sure that you execute effectively. Therefore, you get that ROI that you're looking for. And I kind of guarantee that.
You're going to let them know what ROI stands for, return on investment? Okay, I knew. I just want
Okay.
Hey, you never assume folk know what's going on. You always got to make sure they can feel you.
WCW, ROI. There you go. Learn ROI before you know what WCW is.
Believe that.
Right.
How long have you been doing it?
I've been doing this, I'm going to say, all my life. You know, I've been in different roles, but marketing has always been attached to that, regardless of what I've done. I've always had a creative side, from growing up to just being in school to the things that I've involved myself with. There was always a sense of creativity that I couldn't deny, but there was also a level of professionalism that has also been present. And you know what, I pretty much just combined the two.
Okay.
Yep, so I would say my lifetime.
Oh, good, man. How long you been married?
How long I've been married? 10 years.
Ooh, give your wife a shout out, man. Give your wife a shout out.
Happy anniversary, baby. Another 10 coming soon, all right?
When will it be 10 years?
From now?
Yeah.
Ooh, don't put me on all that, brother. I'm a marketer. That's why I'm in marketing. I don't need all that mathematics. But no, it'll be 2028. 2028 will be 20.
20 years. Yeah. Give us your 30-second marital advice spiel for the men out there, real quick. 10 years.
For the men out there, for the men out there, watch Married with Children. When I was young, I never understood Al Bundy.
Al Bundy.
But when you married and you watch that show, hey man, that's like the holy grail right there. Al Bundy.
Al Bundy. Hand in your pants.
Al Bundy.
Hand in your pants on the couch, selling female shoes.
After she go to sleep, watch Al Bundy. And you will totally understand everything about Al in life.
Okay, it's called Married with Children.
That's how I did 10.
And Al had a hot wife, though.
He did.
See, people don't. Al was like the average-looking, kind of half-bald, ugly dude with a banging hot. At the time, Al had a hot wife.
At the time, all the '80s babies out there.
Yeah.
Y'all know Peggy Bundy. So
and he had a hot daughter.
He had a hot head.
What is Christina
Christina Applegate.
Yeah.
He had it all.
He did.
You know, Married with Children. I'm not going to sit up here and give you no secret. The secret is pretty much love your girl, respect your girl, and really just truly want to move forward and progress. If you're committed to those three things, piece of cake. You're just doing time. And you're having fun.
You a father?
Absolutely. Of 2.
How many kids you got?
2. 2. 1 daughter, 1 son.
1 son, 1 daughter. How old is the little girl?
Little girl's 5 years old. Son, 8 years old.
Okay. Now, we're going to focus more on the son and being a father and raising the son. raising a daughter would be a total different conversation.
Right.
And we'd have to approach that differently.
Right.
So today, for these 45 minutes, we're going to focus on raising a son in today's society. So my first question I'm going to ask you is, when your wife told you she was pregnant and you found out it was a son, what were your first thoughts, your first emotions? What was going through your head?
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. The pressure's off. The pressure's off. Because, I mean, like I said, it was something I was thinking about. I mean, I was a guy that naturally didn't want to volunteer and step up for a daughter. So on the first go-round, I wanted a son. But I understand how gods can really, become obsessive about that feeling of, oh, I gotta have it. I would have been okay either way, but I was happy that I got the son off the table because I didn't want the pressure to try to have to make one on the second go-round. Because I knew there was going to be a second go-round. So I just made sure that, when I got the son, I was like, all right, now I was ready to roll. Now I was ready, hey, give me twins, give me a girl, give me another son, hey.
You ready for triplets. You ready for whatever.
Hey, whatever.
Just whatever you got for me, I'm ready for it. I got the son out the way.
Son out the way.
Okay.
Son out the way.
So you got the son. You find out you're having a son. Doctor puts him in your hand. What you think?
In all honesty, the way he came in this world was pretty chaotic throughout his delivery. But it was like, wow, I'm someone's dad. It was like, I'm someone's dad. Like, I always had a level of, not necessarily anxiety, but apprehension of, getting married too early. Or, having kids too early. That's always been my thing, and it's been for the sake of me personally understanding that I still got life too. As selfish as that may sound, I have things that I'm naturally driven by, and I want.
That's not. I'm gonna just go ahead and say that's not. I don't think that's selfish. I think in all things you do in life, you can never lose yourself because if you
thought process, is not selfish.
It's not.
But when you say it, you sound selfish. You sound selfish. Because once you have a kid, it's like you're willing to give it all up. You're willing to give it all up. So you look at yourself like, dang, I could have done this earlier. But I had to go through experiences and things to be ready to do so. And my wife did too. And that was understood across the table. So there was never any pressure to do that. But the public, people was like, it's time you guys have a baby and we just wasn't ready.
My wife and I get that all the time.
Yeah, see? And I'll tell you really got to pace yourself to be ready because it's life-changing the minute that happens. We wanted to make sure we enjoyed each other. We traveled. We did the things before we focused on parenthood. So when we had my son, it was kind of like, okay, now I'm responsible for someone. It's different to say I'm married and I'm responsible for someone. Now I'm truly responsible for someone.
Because you have something that depends on you for
everything.
For everything. For the next X amount of years.
Shoot, I tell people all the time, ain't no one trying to let anything bad happen to a baby on their hands. I don't care who you are. All right? So when you get a newborn baby placed in your hands,
whether it's yours or not,
it's like, hey.
You feel a sense of responsibility.
Oh, yeah, you feel a sense of, oh my gosh, like we in Willow or something. If I find a baby right now, I got to bring it home. It's like I can't keep walking. You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at it from the sense of you got to be ready, but even if you're ready or not, here it comes.
Here it comes.
Here it comes. So when I had my son, it was kind of like, all right, let's test this out.
Okay, so you get the son, he's in your hands, you take him home. When they're a baby, it's baby stuff. I'm thinking baby stuff is general, gender isn't really relevant. When did it start becoming, this is a boy, I need to focus or ensure that I'm raising a man? Like, when did those thoughts or those actions or those behaviors, when did they start to come in?
I would honestly say probably at 1 year old when he started walking, because that was like the first sign of independence. Like, okay, I don't need you to carry me. I can eat my food itself and put it in my mouth. Like, when you go through that stage, that's when it's like, oh my God, this is a little person. It's like a little person now that's walking around, pulling handles and all that stuff. So that sense of responsibility heightened just for the sense of feeling like, wow, okay, once again, I can't let anything happen to this kid. But two, this is my kid. This is like my kid. So when people hear things, it's from the sense of, They're judging him based off of me.
Yeah.
They're judging him based off his mother.
Yeah.
They're judging him based off his potential.
Yeah.
They're judging him based off of things he's fully unaware of.
Skin
but,
color.
Skin color, absolutely. You know, because he like his mama.
Like his mama.
Not me. Hey, I may need to take you on the road with me. I don't get that point no more. But it was this sense of responsibility that, you know, I felt like, all right, I have to raise him and I have to raise him correct like my father did me. So it was kind of like the passing of the torch, so to speak. Yeah.
So what was the first father to son? How old was your son? 13, you said?
My son?
Yeah.
No, my son's 8.
8, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm
say,
13.
whoa,
I'm sorry.
whoa.
You said first. Okay, your son's 8. When was the first manly moment, first manly lesson? And I'm
Right.
trying to be specific
Right.
on raising a son versus raising a girl. So what was the first manly? When was the first time you said, "But you're a boy. Like when was the first time you pulled that card?"
Right. School. The minute he started going to daycare. Hold on, let me take this. The minute he started going to daycare, you know, because I always tell my wife, I vividly remember what it was like to be 5 years old. You know, and as crazy as that sounds, I judge my kids based off of what I was doing at 5 years old. Like, nah, I know what you was thinking, what you was doing. You ain't gonna be 10 steps ahead of me. But you know, when he went to school and daycare, and then also, you know, he's in a suburban environment. So it was kind of like I didn't want my son to, you know, I started seeing other kids or other parenting that necessarily doesn't come out of my book or how I was raised. And I was kind of like, all right, I got to tiptoe around certain things because of where I'm at, but I got to make sure.
Give me some
we're
specifics.
easily
Don't you jumping
tiptoe.
around the bush. Don't be tiptoeing around me. You ain't come here to tiptoe now.
You're right. I didn't
you got 2 glasses in front of you.
I apologize
You
to
could have
you.
tiptoed at home now.
I apologize.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna go ahead and help you out.
All right.
So you living in the suburban area, which means you and your family is probably one of the few blacks in the area. Correct.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm assuming his schooling environment at the time was an environment where he was the extreme minority, not just the minority,
Absolutely.
but he was the extreme minority.
There's a few.
So you had whatever.
A few special.
So you had concerns about some things you were seeing and hearing that you were worried that your parenting style wouldn't be approved by your suburban neighbors.
Absolutely. You summed that up and articulated very well. Thank you. Thank you so much. See, you got the message. So you marketing.
No,
There
but
you
I
go.
need everybody to get the message. It ain't
All
just
right.
me.
No,
I need everybody to get it. Why were you concerned about what your non-black counterparts would think about your parenting methods? I'm call it what it is.
Okay, because you know what it is? It's just different. It's just different. I am someone that my number one parenting rule is unorthodox. Is I don't believe in censorship. At all.
Censorship.
I don't believe in censorship at all.
Meaning
Meaning that, hey, R-rated movies being played, music gonna be listened to. Because you know what? That's how I was raised.
so Junior done heard some Nas at 3 years old.
Oh, Junior here.
Junior heard Jay-Z at
Man, he in here.
he know Reasonable Doubt at
Hey, he loved Drake, Migos, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. He spitting 16s.
Ooh.
Dancing the Future. I
Okay.
mean, it's just kind of the element that kind of makes our environment a little unique. Not necessarily, but where we live is very unique.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when you have a kid that's kind of exposed to some of those things in an environment where they're sheltered away from everything, it turns to, you got to wonder, all right, what are you going to leak and when are you going to leak anything, if so? If so.
when you go to your white neighbor house next door.
Right.
Are you gonna get mad and say, "Damn, fuck"?
Right. Those types of situations, because we don't. It's unfiltered. It's unfiltered. But I was raised in the same space of being unfiltered. But I had a mama that knew how to make sure her kids were disciplined, and I had a daddy that was like, "Listen, man, hey, just keep it funky. You ain't gotta cause no issue, but you know what's going on in here." And that's it. And life turned out great.
I need somebody to translate. I need somebody from New York to translate what he just said.
All right, let me dumb it down for you. Please.
Please.
Let me dumb it down for you.
Say just keep it funky.
Keep it.
And we gonna have no issue.
Hey. Put the dirt under the rug and get on out of here. All right?
That sounds like some Kevin Hart.
Put the dirt under the rug, get on out of here. You know? Or, hey, just don't have them people call my house. That's it.
Okay.
Just
So
don't have
what was
them people call
what
my
was
house.
one of those things? So you was concerned initially about him leaking.
leaking and just mannerisms, just mannerisms. I grew up in Brooklyn, so you know what? The minute you was born, you came out with an edge. The minute you was fed, you had to like defend yourself. That northern hostility is something that you're just born with because you are placed in the most hostile environment the minute you come out in the world.
Okay.
So the fact that he was in an environment where,
there was no hostility whatsoever.
Lack of, okay?
No aggression needed.
No aggression needed, necessary, or will be. or will be allowed.
We ain't move here for that.
We ain't moving, and we ain't letting you move in here. But the good thing is he's naturally non-aggressive.
Okay.
So I don't have to worry about that. But I see kids at his school that's a little more non-aggressive to my liking.
Okay.
That I'm like, you ain't gonna be that non-aggressive, all right? Okay, because understand, you come from an aggressive family. You have an aggressive side of your family, And as long as you balance it too, you'll be good.
Looking at things that are happening in society, take for example the cats at Starbucks,
right?
Getting arrested for what looks like no reason at all and things of that nature. How do you approach teaching your kid? One, you're a black male in America, whether you know it or not, what that means, and because of that, you need to do X, Y, and Z.
Well, you know what?
Or is that not a conversation that you have had yet because he's 8?
It's more on that side. Well, it's a combination. It's on that side of the fact of that may be too complicated. But because I don't censor, he sees the news, he hears what people say in the streets. He's also in school, so although he may not be leaking, someone in the school leaking. Because the questions that come forth, I'm kind of like, well, I know they ain't come from here. So, where did it come from? But in all honesty, I wait for it to come to my doorstep, So if he watches the news and he raises the question, then we can talk about it. But I'm not going to actively shove it down his face because when I watch the news as an adult, it's scary. So I can only imagine as a kid what you see now on the news, how you may feel, how you may really process some of that stuff. And by processing it in a way that could be wrong or inaccurate really perpetuates the problem to begin with.
Expound on that. Why do you say it really perpetuates the problem?
Because if you don't understand something and you just assume, you're going to go out here in the world and you're going to feed off of it. You're going to feed off of it. You may not understand that there's two sides to every story. Or you may not understand that was wrong that I read or that it's fake news. And you may actively make it as fact just because. So you know what? He'll go to school. He'll see things. He watches the news. And then the questions come forward.
But aren't you concerned about the times that he don't ask questions and he just walks away with the assumption that, what I saw is real, and because of that, now I believe X, Y, and Z?
No, absolutely. Because remember what I said, I don't hide anything. So the exposure's there. It's like walking in the Apple store. Yeah, you can see all the crime, the range, everything going on around you, but you still may not buy anything. But you're aware that it's there. So that self-awareness is there. But I think Chris Rock summed it up really well that if you have a black son and you don't punch him in the face every morning, if you don't punch him in the face every morning to just show him how real the world is, that's child abuse. So you know what? I still do certain things, but it's appropriate for an 8-year-old. All right? It's appropriate for an 8-year-old. All right?
He punched me in the face every morning.
Hey, when he wake up, you better learn to block. You better learn to block. Hey. Don't just take it every day. You bob and weave. Give me a shoulder like Mayweather. Do something. But don't just sit here and not think and just take it. So, we get to that point, and it's like I said, it's ways that I was trained. Mm-hmm. It's ways that I was trained. I never really grew up, even though I'm from New York, I never really went to school that was diverse until I got it in a college.
Go Bulls, USF.
You know what I'm saying?
Opened up a lot of eyes to white America.
Hey, I wanted to go. I tell people, true story. I wanted to go because I wanted a locker. I wanted my own locker like Zach Morris in Saved by the Bell. I could not understand how these kids was just running around.
You know that was high school, right?
Hey, high school, any school. High school, any school. But you know what? That was enough to say, I gotta get out of here and I gotta go down there and see what's
I
going on.
gotta go down there and see what life is really like.
Westward.
I gotta get to
see what's going
Los Angeles,
I gotta see what's
90210. I
going on.
need
I gotta see, baby.
gotta get to Melrose Place.
You know what I'm saying? I'm in school going through metal detectors, pat downs, all of this
Security
stuff.
guard in every hallway. Not to mention the police on the outside.
Screech riding a skateboard down the hallway.
Believe that.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't even understand that. Even in New York, I didn't understand it. But I was, I wanted to figure out, okay, how can I get to where that exists?
But let me ask you this: don't you think, though, sometimes that ignorance is bliss, as they say, as a philosopher once said, that ignorance is bliss. So do they need to know as much? Just a question. Does a 8-year-old, 10-year-old, 15-year-old black male in America really need to, quote unquote, know the racial climate in America, or the things that come with being, or that may, let me say this, the things that may come with being a black man in America? Do they really need to know that, or is it best for them to grow up with that bliss so that they can give people the benefit of the doubt? I know that was deep, so let me explain it before I say that. The reason why I say that, because if sometimes when you don't know, you're more prone to operate from a positive, from the benefit of the doubt standpoint. But when you know that this is how things happen sometimes, you're not going to act naturally now because you're concerned about what daddy told you.
I think it's a combination. I personally would want to know. I mean, hopefully his spider sense tingles when he's in the wrong part of town, or he's in a situation where it's like, all right, I got to kick in. When I was growing up, that was street smarts. You knew, oh, shoot, okay, I got to get out of here. Regardless of what's going on, it's time for me to go because I'm not even staying to find what's going on. He doesn't have that. He naturally doesn't have that. So I have to figure out ways to kind of simulate that. But I know I will never 100% be effective.
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't keep the environment.
You can't keep the environment, because the environment is part of the reason why we have what we have. It's because the environments that we was raised in.
So,
because you were forced to have it every day, walking to school, coming home from school, during school, in the hallway. You had to have it. I get it.
We do it like school do it. The history books. That's how I look at it. That's history. So you got to understand the law of the land if you're gonna be walking on the land. That's just it. You just got to.
So what are the 2 or 3 most important lessons that you want your black son to understand as he grows in America? He's 8. I'm gonna say before he gets to high school and really get real freedom. You know what I'm saying? What are the things that you really want him to understand so that he can be successful in America? You gotta take a sip. I know when I ask a good question, okay, you gotta take a sip before you answer it, though.
The number one thing that I teach him is never be a follower. Always choose to be the leader. And even if you're gonna be a follower, make sure you following someone worth leading. Okay? Make sure you follow someone that's worthy of being in that position to lead. Because it's okay to be a follower, but you don't want to be a follower by default. You want to have an opinion. You want to process certain things and make a conscious decision to say, either I want to do that or I don't want to do that. And if you've done that, hey, I'll stand with your decision, whatever it is.
Now, I would say that's just general good.
Right.
I'm looking for things that would be specific to a black man in America. It's good that your first thought was not something that was racially specific.
Right.
But I know that there are those things. Because I think about if I become a father one day, if I become a father to a son, because I think we were raised in an age where the weekly, daily quote was, remember, you got 2 strikes against you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't hear that as much from parents nowadays.
Because there ain't no strike. He gets fearful when he sees the police. I don't sit here and say, hey, Black Lives Matter, don't talk to the police down. I ain't saying that. But he watches the TV and he kind of sees this himself and he draws his own conclusion, which is like I'm saying, if you could look at something and make a conscious decision and come to me with that decision, hey, and that conclusion, I stand with you. So he understands that in some places these things happen. He understands that just last month it happened close to his grandma's house. So he understands, whoa, this can happen anywhere, but Just like me when I'm driving on the road, when I see those lights, so I see the popo, hey, all right, we got to tighten up, make sure the seatbelt buckles, look straight, hands on both wheels, slow pace, even if we ain't doing nothing wrong.
Say, I see the popo.
So he know what it is, and it's because, he's naturally conditioning, and the environment and society has naturally made him that way. But at the end of the day, he doesn't feel bad about the police. He don't feel like all police are bad. He just knows, all right, 2 + 2 = 4 when this situation goes in, and I don't want the end result that I've seen. And then, like I said, hey, his one grandma's in Brooklyn, New York. The other grandma is in Southside St. Pete. So he is very cultured in the environment to understand that there's a different way of life. There's not just this suburban way that you're living. I do a good job of making sure that he's exposed to that, understand how fortunate and lucky you are to just be able to be in that position.
Now, I know part of raising a man is preparing him to be a man and be a head of a household one day. So how is the birds and the bees, the women come? Oh, now you're taking the gold. Now you won't finish the glass. Nah. How does and start the second cup? Oh man, I hit a good one. How has the female conversation come up? And do you say anything regarding females from a racial standpoint? Don't lie.
I don't say anything from a racial standpoint yet. Yet. And I say yet. I say yet because
let me sit back.
It ain't necessary. It ain't necessary. So I don't say anything that yet. Right now it's still, girls, but he's had a girlfriend. He played
at 8.
Hey, he's had a girlfriend. He's had girls. There's been times I had to call his mama. Your son playing ball, and hey, these girls are a little too old, but they walk in to tell him bye. They walk in to tell him bye. She hate it, but hey, he got a fan club. I mean, handsome kid. I give it to him, but
where you got that from?
Hey, handsome kid. You know what I'm saying? But that's just not in him yet. Now I know he's 8, but I know what I was doing by 10. So therefore, hey, I'm prepared for that. And I know they starting sooner because I hear the
exposure.
Things they say, the exposure, the things they're watching, the things they get in.
You can YouTube it.
Exactly, YouTube, and they doing that. So I'm
right there.
naive to the fact, you know what I'm saying? So I know at some point I'm going to have to keep it 100 with him, and say, hey.
But when does that point come? If you already got a little girlfriend, and you see older chicks, because I be seeing when you out there, sometimes he don't have his shirt on when he be out there practicing basketball. I be seeing what you be posting. I be seeing you out there celebrating your kid as a Chippendale. So when do you sit him down and have a conversation? Like, I would have thought you would, real talk, I would have thought at 8 you would have had it already. If you got a girlfriend, we need to have this conversation.
Yeah, but you know what? He ain't out enough. I mean, if he got a girlfriend, then that's like a lunchtime girlfriend. I see her at lunch, and I go home, and she go to her class, and we go home. That's where it's at now. It ain't to the point where, hey, we like the Goonies around here, and we just hanging out, running around here, after school, treehouse, summertime, late night out. We ain't at that point yet.
Not that hide and go seek?
Yeah, not that
we play hide and go seek, hide and go hunt?
We just going to stay out a little late. Okay, no, we ain't there yet. But by 2 years, we will definitely be there.
So what are you waiting on to have the conversation?
Because you can't, because it'll confuse him. It'll confuse him. He'll watch the news and ask questions like, Daddy, why do everybody hate Donald Trump? Now, that is a loaded question because based off of who you are, you may answer that question differently. And I may just say, hey, man, you see it, and keep it moving. Keep it moving. Hey, I'll pull that out, and hey, you're going to have to answer that yourself, all right? You're not stupid. You see it, all right? And you draw your own conclusion. But then he tells me about this was a conversation in his classroom about why he is, why he isn't, and the things that comes about. And I'm like, hey, I can't hide you from that. That's just what it is. Mm-hmm. That's just where we are right now in the world. But I'm not gonna sit here and pull out books, pages, documentaries, and all that, and just shove it in your paws.
But you say it now. Here we go. I'm gonna challenge you now because you're saying it's uncensored now. You're saying everything is uncensored. You're saying he listening to Migos, Jigga, Cardi B. Your boy knows music, and very few people, to hell with DJs, know music and are the connoisseurs of music like I am.
Right.
So I knows lyrics. Mm-hmm. I knows the lyrics.
Right.
So it's in his head if you listen to the music.
It is, but he doesn't fully understand what he's saying.
But if you don't have the conversation, he gonna draw his own conclusions.
Hey.
And by the time he come to you with a question, it might be too late.
No, it ain't gonna be too late. It ain't gonna be too late. It ain't gonna be too late. It ain't gonna be too late.
Dude,
it's never too late. It's never too late.
Is it not? Oh, come on now.
It's never too late.
It is possible being too late.
Now, if I let this man get to 18 and run wild, then yes, it's too late.
If you let him get in the bathroom at 11, it's too late. If you let him get in the bathroom at 11, it's too late.
By the time he go to middle school, he'll know. He'll know. But right now, second grade, that's the last thing. Now it's ball. And every now and then, someone on TV. But right now, ball is life. That's it.
So let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
If one of them, he's 8.
Yep.
One of them 10-year-old girls pull him to the side. And don't laugh because
I'm with you.
You know.
I was 10. I remember
things
like I told you.
But like I said,
things at 10.
He's 8.
Right.
If one of these 10-year-old girls pull him to the side,
hey, it could happen.
He could. Would he know what to do?
No.
Okay.
He wouldn't.
That's why I'm saying, why haven't you had the conversation?
Because you got to keep some things innocent, man. You got to keep some things innocent.
So you got to keep the cup empty until some random fast behind hoochie at 10 years old.
I'll sue her parents. I'll find a way to sue her parents. But no, I get what you're saying. But you know what? Like I said, when you say it started late, it didn't. I mean, I get where you're coming from. It can. It can very easily.
I can tell you some stories. It can.
No, it can. I know that it can.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, it's one of those things that right now we start off with the cute relationship. Buy your girlfriend something for Christmas. There it is. So that's how we show affection here. If you're kissing, you're all right. I'm not in here saying, all right, here's the play, okay? Here's the play, all right? You tell your mama you gonna go to a party.
But no, I'm saying,
somebody here.
But
what y'all going out to do.
I get, but shouldn't at least be, hey son, this is acceptable. However, this is not.
Well, he sees that. And that's why I said, at the end of the day, he's exposed to a lot of things, but I'm the number one thing my son is exposed to. Mm-hmm. So anything that he sees, anything that I do, is from the perspective of, I know he's watching. And yes, I'm branding that, but like I said, he's my son. So therefore, all right now I'm sitting here in a vest and a green shirt. When I go home, I'm going to look completely different. I may act completely different. I may say some things that may shock some people. By no surprise, but that's my son. So
by no surprise.
At the end of the day, he sees, he knows all. Because he is prepared and equipped to be multifaceted, to lead, to take care of his mother, to show girls affection, to take care of his sister, to punch someone in the nose if they do something to his sister. He's equipped for all these things because I have given him visuals of if this situation arises, you got to get it. I don't care if what's going on right now, you just got to go for yours. And that's not in a negative sense, that's also in a positive sense. I mean, as much motivation as I give people as I give the world, he's my son. So you know what? I try not to be hard on him by holding him to a standard, but I'm raw with him in the delivery. I know what I'm raising a man, like you said. I got to make sure that
I think that's
this don't shock you.
And not to cut you off, but I think that's something that as a man, that a woman that respects her husband, A, and B, wants her son to be a man, will do C, which is, you don't want to say know your place or know your role, but you will say not interfere, just as if it was a daughter in your daughterly moments. I'm sure there are some times when your wife does some things because she understands the kind of woman she wants to raise, and you stand on the sideline. You like, hey, I ain't no woman. That's not my.
Like I don't do here. I just don't. I just don't. Not even gonna try.
Not even gonna try.
Why? For what? For what? I know the outcome of this.
But
you do too.
But it should be the same way with the son.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? And that doesn't mean that nobody can't have a say so in the opposite gender, but it means I think in a marriage you let whoever knows best do best.
Absolutely. And that's a good way to put it.
And you support them.
This is your play. This is it. This is up your alley.
I'm rooting for you.
Right?
Right. We're turning around. I'm going in there, mama. Right. Bam. Go in there and make it happen,
That's
baby.
Right.
I got you back. Let me know how.
It don't completely take you out of the equation, but you're better suited.
Do y'all have some parenting like rules that y'all kind of agreements and that y'all kind of go by?
Parenting rules in the sense of, I mean, hey, it's teamwork. It's a team. It's always for the team. You know, it's always for the team. So we always sit there and we say, look, man, I'm on your side. I ain't your enemy. That's like something that we actively have. I ain't your enemy. All right. So even if you feel like getting there, I got you right.
Just remember, I ain't your enemy. I get it.
Just remember that.
That's cool.
You know,
I like that.
Because it's because sometimes you got to snap yourself out of it. And, you know, like I said, when me and my wife was married prior to the children, it was friendly competition. You know, I'm moving strong, she moving strong, you know. So we're separate but together, but, you know, we both doing our own thing and we moving forward. Right? When the kids came, that's like getting a boot on your car to the all right? All right? It's like, okay, now you got to share that space because we both can't go in the same direction at the same time.
Yeah.
So we've gotten comfortable of playing hot potato. You up, all right? You down. You up, you down. And by doing that, that keeps us moving forward, but that also keeps everything taken care of.
Okay.
You know, so in that sense, you know, there is those rules that we have to communicate and make sure something happens. Like, I'm going to talk directly to the brothers now.
Oh, shit.
Brothers, all right, if you got a kid, I get the situation with the female may not be the most ideal.
Oh, you mean in the baby mama situation? Not in the
mama situation.
Okay. I'm going to put my phone down.
Don't make the kids pay for it. And the reason being is because right now, with what's going on outside, we truly do have a sense of responsibility for the next generation because, hey, it ain't guaranteed. It ain't guaranteed. So we got to make sure it's like planting. We got to water. We got to add vitamins. We got to nourish. We got to keep maintain. We got to landscape. We got to do all of that.
So it's bigger than just whatever issues you got with the baby mama.
It's bigger whatever issues you got with the baby mama. Hey, you can have the issues. Keep the issues with the baby mama. That's what I'm saying. Keep the issues with your baby mama. Just don't make your kids have to deal with it.
Don't let them impede.
Because they ain't asked to be here. They ain't asked to be here. Ladies, hey, keep doing what you're doing. All salute to the woman. Single mothers, married women.
So how you going?
Hey, that's for another topic. Bring me back. But ladies, happy Mother's Day early in the month of May. Coming next month. You like that? See, there you go. We go, you know, keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry, we gonna ride.
It's that smooth New York shit. That's what
this. Brothers, hey, keep the issues with the baby mama, all right? All right? There you go. Just keep it and watch Al Bundy, and you'll understand me and thank me later. We out. Appreciate you having me, man.
Dollar Maker says.